Hey everyone, John here, and excited to talk to you guys today about an actually very little talked about subject, and that's failures. A lot of people like to put out there their success stories and all the good things, but what you don't see from that story is all the failures that took place behind them. For you military guys, you veterans, you know about failure, but do you talk about it? So today, that's kind of what we want to talk about a little bit. We want to discuss this. Um, so let's dive into this. When we talk about failures, a lot of people shy away. They get upset. They want to do things and they want to be successful that first time around. But in order to be successful at things, in order to advance in things, to grow in things, in order to excel and exceed, you're going to have to fail. It's natural. It's a natural part of life, right? And you may or may not have heard this, but fail can actually be an acronym, right? First attempt in learning, fail. And that's really how you have to approach your the way you walk through life, the way you walk through your transitioning if you're a transitioning service member is that you're gonna fail at things. And that's okay. That's actually not a bad thing because in those failures you get to learn. So, let's break it down to when you were a kid. Did you hop on a bike right away and immediately you were good at riding? No, probably not. Odds are you fail a lot. Odds are you fell a lot, right? That's part of the failure process. That's also part of the learning process. You're a baby. You didn't just start walking without falling. You had to take some wobbly steps. You had to get good at it. You had to build up the muscles. It's the same thing going through transition. It's the same thing going through your job. It's the same thing finding a new job, a new opportunity, an educational opportunity. You're not always going to be successful. And failure is not necessarily I failed the class or I failed to cert or I failed to get a job. May happen. Odds are not, but you're not going to be 100% successful at it right away. So what do we do with these failures, these setbacks, these falls? Well, kind of as we said in the acronym, it's an attempt in learning. You have to learn from it. You have to take why you didn't succeed and you have to learn from that. Right? That could be a multitude of things depending on the situation, depending on the scenario. But if you actually take a good look at what you're doing, whether you're transitioning, whether you're looking for that new job, whether you're looking for that perfect school, you want to get a degree in or a certificate in, it's not always going to happen right away. Sometimes you have to study a little harder for that test. Sometimes you need to go back and retake another practice test. When I was going for my PMP cert, I was nervous. I took a boot camp. I read that PMP guide. And honestly, I kind of bombed my first practice test, but that wasn't the end of it. I used that opportunity to learn where I was short at, where were my shortcomings at, and I just developed new tools and skills to build on those, right? So I used those small little failures and setbacks to learn from and hone in on those skills to improve so the next time around I didn't make the same mistake twice. Same is true with your transition, right? You need to find those mentors who are going to help you through the pathway. You may be excited to get a job or an opportunity and realize it doesn't work out. Or maybe you missed an opportunity for whatever reason. Don't beat yourself up for it. Okay? That you just learn why. I know the big thing a lot of guys are having troubles with is the job interviews and their resumes. So when you get those job interviews, you get those rejection notices, or maybe the recruiter will straight up tell you like, "Hey, we like you as a person, but we don't feel you're a right fit." Hear what they have to say, learn from that. Sometimes a quick email or a quick LinkedIn message to one of those recruiters, they can break that down for you. They could say, "Hey, look, here's where we see you're strong at, here's where we see your shortcomings are." And use those opportunities to learn because really you're not going to get better if you keep doing the same thing and not understanding why, not going through it. If you're going out there and you're trying to get those jobs or you're trying to get those opportunities, or especially if you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to sell something, odds are you're going to have to face a lot of rejection. But use each rejection as a learning opportunity. What can you do better? What can you hone in on? What can you improve upon? Right. And if you enter with that mindset, you're going to start realizing, okay, hey, I can improve here. I can adjust here. And I can make those necessary tweaks. I can learn something. Maybe you go get that certification. Maybe you go talk to a different person. Maybe you find another mentor, right? You know your scenario, you know your situation, but don't look at failure as a bad thing. It could be setting you up for something a little better. And one thing I really want to drive home to you guys that I highly encourage is that with every rejection or missed opportunity, go seek another opportunity, but seek something that's a little out of your comfort zone. True growth is going to happen when you start getting out of your comfort zone. You start learning new things, you start experiencing new experiences. Those of you in the military, you should be a pro at this. You went to basic training. Odds are very, very different than the lifestyle you were living before you joined. You know, you went into a combat job, you went to the field a lot, you went on deployments, all new. Were you experts at all that stuff right away? No, but you got out of your comfort zone. You learned a whole lot of new skills. You developed some leadership capabilities. So it's kind of the same approach to that. You know, you Air Force guys, you Navy guys, you have your own very unique experiences as well, whether it be working on the flight line, working on aircraft, going out to sea, right? Use those opportunities, use those things you have learned before, put them in your tool bag, and keep moving forward, and use those skills to hone on your next set of skills. So you don't have to throw all that stuff away, but you have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to advance and just keep driving on. Something's going to pop up. You're going to refine a skill. You're going to get better at it. You're going to grow. And you never know. You may be growing someone else in the same process. You may or may not be a mentor to someone already. You may or may not be leading someone, whether you know it or not. Maybe people are looking up to you and they're pulling from your examples. So, guys, I really want you to tell your story out there. Get out there, tell your story. Let people know, hey, I wasn't an overnight success. I worked hard. I had to learn. I made mistakes. I failed. I had setbacks. But those stories help other people. And you never know, you might find a great opportunity in that as well. Okay. And for all you transitioning service members out there, the one thing I want you guys to know, you're not alone. Always have a battle buddy with you. Go find your battle buddy. Go find your friends. Find those mentors, whether they're in still, they're out. Maybe you know someone that you transitioned with. Use each other, leverage each other, use those connections, those networks. Get on LinkedIn, really connect with those people out there and get their advice. You know, pick their brains, learn some new things, and you'd be amazed at what's out there. It's an exciting world out there. You don't have to fear it. And definitely, hey, I'm always here if you guys need me. Be happy to talk to you and let you know my thoughts on things. Until then, guys, stay safe, stay hungry.